Sometimes it is not what someone says that stays with you. It is what they cannot say. A flicker in the eyes, a pause that holds too much meaning, a change in the air when you walk into the room. These are the moments when you realize you have stepped into a truth that was never meant for you. It does not announce itself, yet it lingers, heavy and undeniable. And when the person holding that truth is a married man, it becomes more than a simple observation. It becomes a weight you did not choose, but now cannot put down. You know something you cannot explain, and it has already begun to change the way you see him, the way you see yourself, and the way you see the space between you. If you have ever felt the weight of knowing what you were never meant to know, the Jung method can help you understand why you see what others miss and how to protect your peace. The link is pinned in the first comment. The ability to see what is hidden in someone's life is both a blessing and a burden. Most people move through the world seeing only what they are shown, accepting the surface as the whole truth. But when your perception cuts through that surface, you step into a different reality. You begin to notice the small contradictions in his words, the subtle hesitations in his actions, the quiet signals that escape even his control. And once you have seen them, you cannot unsee them. This changes the way you interact with him. You might smile in the same way you always did, but deep inside, there is an awareness that was not there before. It colors your thoughts, your choices, and even your silences. You start to understand that there are two versions of every story he tells, the one he speaks and the one his body reveals. And without realizing it, you are already holding a truth that does not belong entirely to you. What makes this dangerous is not just the fact that he is married. It is that his hidden world has now touched yours, and you cannot separate the two. You carry the weight of what you know, and whether you choose to act on it or not, it changes the way you see him forever. It is like standing in a room that is perfectly decorated, but catching a glimpse of the cracks in the wall beneath the paint. You can pretend the cracks are not there, but you will always know they are. And the more you notice, the more the pattern reveals itself. You see how he avoids certain topics, how his gaze lingers too long in moments that should be ordinary, how his voice drops when he speaks to you compared to when he speaks to others. These are not accidents. They are pieces of a puzzle he never intended for you to put together, but you are already seeing the picture take shape. There is a deep psychological truth here. Jung believed that the unconscious always finds a way to speak, no matter how carefully we try to silence it. In the case of a married man, what leaks through is not just desire or attraction. It can be dissatisfaction, longing, regret, or even unspoken fears. You may not know the full story, but you can feel the emotional undercurrent every time you are near him. The danger is that this awareness can change you. It can make you more cautious, more guarded, or more drawn in than you ever intended. Some women feel empowered by the knowledge, as if they have been given a key to a locked room in his life. Others feel burdened, as though they are carrying something heavy that does not belong to them. Either way, once you see what he hides, you are no longer the same. It is in these moments that you must decide what role you will play. Will you become the silent witness, keeping the truth to yourself, or will you allow what you see to guide your actions? Either choice has consequences, and neither can be made lightly. Because once you step into this hidden space, there is no way to go back to the innocence of not knowing. The truth is that seeing what a married man hides forces you to look not only at him, but also at yourself. It reveals your boundaries, your values, and the strength of your self-control. It asks you to examine why you notice what others miss, and what that says about your own emotional landscape. And perhaps most importantly, it challenges you to decide how much of someone else's truth you are willing to carry. When you see what he hides, it is no longer just about him. It is about the way that knowledge reshapes your own reality. Suddenly, you find yourself in a space between truth and silence, where every choice feels heavy. You may not speak of it, but it lives in you. It shapes how you look at him, how you hear his words, and how you interpret his actions. The danger is not only in what you know, but in how it makes you feel. There is a part of you that may feel more powerful because you can read what others cannot, but there is another part that feels exposed, as if carrying this secret has made you vulnerable in ways you did not expect. It is the strange paradox of awareness. It gives you clarity, yet it also gives you a burden. Over time, the signs you once thought were small begin to form a pattern. You notice when he looks for you in a crowded room, how he lingers in moments that should be fleeting, how the tone of his voice changes when it is just the two of you. These moments are subtle, almost invisible to others, yet to you they are impossible to ignore. And the more you see, the harder it is to forget. You may try to tell yourself it means nothing, that it is only your imagination, but deep inside, you know that the human soul rarely hides without reason. Even when someone is determined to keep a part of their life sealed away, their actions betray them. The truth leaks out in small, unguarded moments, and you are there to see it. Jung believed that what we try hardest to conceal is often what defines us the most. The married man who holds a secret from you is also revealing something about himself in every gesture. Whether it is longing, fear, or guilt, these emotions cannot be completely hidden. And when you are the one who notices them, you step into a role you never asked for, the keeper of what is unspoken. The deeper you go into this awareness, the more you realize it is not just his truth that you are holding. It is also the mirror it places in front of you. Why do you see what you see? Why are you the one who can read between the lines? This gift, or curse, forces you to confront parts of yourself that might have remained hidden otherwise. And so you carry both the weight of what you know about him and the quiet realization of what it awakens in you. These two truths begin to shape your connection in ways that neither of you can fully control. And from this point on, nothing between you will ever be the same. There is an invisible line that forms when you see into a world you were never meant to enter. At first, you might tell yourself it is harmless, just an observation, just a moment. But as the days pass, the awareness grows. It follows you in quiet moments, showing up in the way you think, in the way you feel, and even in the way you carry yourself around him. You begin to sense the tension in him too. He knows that something in you has shifted, that you are no longer just another presence in his life. Your eyes hold a knowledge that changes the balance between you. He may not speak of it, but his behavior betrays his awareness. He becomes more careful with his words, more deliberate with his movements, as if trying to guard something you already see. And yet, the human soul longs to be known. No matter how tightly he holds his secret, there is a strange relief in being seen, even if he will never admit it. This is where the danger deepens, because your awareness is not just about uncovering something hidden, it is about holding a space that he might start to depend on. Without intending it, you may become the one place where his truth feels less heavy, even if it remains unspoken. But what does this do to you? This is the question few are willing to ask. Carrying his hidden truth can feel intoxicating at times, giving you a sense of closeness and significance. Yet it can also leave you feeling exposed, as if his burden has become yours. And in that quiet exchange, your own boundaries can begin to blur. You may start to wonder how much of your attention is truly your choice, and how much is pulled by the gravitational force of what you know. The married man you once saw in simple, clear lines now appears in layers. The public face, the guarded truth, and the version only you have glimpsed. Each layer feels heavier than the last, and the deeper you look, the harder it becomes to step back. It is here that the mind begins to play its own games. The more you see, the more you imagine. The more you imagine, the more you feel. And these feelings, even when unspoken, can begin to reshape your reality. This is not just about him anymore. It is about the quiet ways your own inner world is being rearranged by the presence of his. Jung spoke often about the shadow, the parts of ourselves we keep hidden, even from our own awareness. To see another person's shadow is to hold a piece of their soul in your hands, but it is also to hold a mirror to your own. Because in seeing what he hides, you might also be confronting the places in yourself that you do not fully understand. This is where the real choice lies, not in what you do with him, but in what you do with yourself. Do you let this awareness consume you, drawing you deeper into a story that is not yours? Or do you step back, protect your own heart, and remember that some truths are too heavy to carry for long? And yet, even with this knowledge, you know the truth will not simply vanish. Once your eyes have been opened to what is hidden, you cannot close them again. You will notice the subtleties in others too. The half-smiles that do not reach the eyes, the pauses between words, the energy that shifts when someone is near. This is the gift and the curse of perception. The danger is not just that you see what a married man hides. The danger is that you will always see more than most. And the more you see, the more you must decide what to do with that vision. Some will envy it, some will fear it, and some will be drawn to it, unable to resist the way you make them feel seen. but only you can decide whether the weight of that vision is worth carrying. This is the moment where you reclaim your choice, because the truth you see is not yours to fix, nor yours to hold forever. It is a reminder that perception is power, and like all power, it demands responsibility. What you choose to do with it will define not just your relationship with him, but your relationship with yourself. When you carry the knowledge of what a married man hides, you start to understand that silence can be louder than words. His pauses become confessions, his glances become admissions, and the way he avoids certain subjects tells you more than any direct answer ever could. You do not need him to say it, because you already feel it in the space between you. This awareness changes the way you move through the connection. It sharpens your intuition, making you notice things you once would have ignored. Every encounter becomes layered with meaning, every conversation tinted with the knowledge you carry. Even the most ordinary moments feel charged, because you are reading not just his words, but the emotions he cannot control. And yet, there is a danger in holding this much awareness. It can pull you deeper into his world, making you feel as though you are part of a private story. You may start to imagine that you understand him in ways no one else does, that you are the keeper of a truth too delicate for anyone else to hold. While this can be intoxicating, it can also blur the lines between what belongs to him and what belongs to you. The more you understand his hidden self, the more you are forced to confront your own. Why did you notice in the first place? Why did the signs speak to you when others remained blind? Often, this level of perception comes from having lived through your own unspoken truths. You know the feeling of carrying something you cannot share, and that recognition makes you attuned to it in others. But here is the question that will define what happens next. Will you allow his hidden truth to live inside you, shaping your thoughts and decisions? Or will you let it pass through you, acknowledging it without letting it take root? Because there is a difference between understanding someone's reality and letting it become part of your own. Jung often spoke of projection, the way we see in others what we have not yet faced in ourselves. When you see what he hides, it is possible that some part of it reflects your own shadow. It might be a longing, a wound, or a fear you recognize without fully naming. This is why such awareness feels both magnetic and unsettling. It is not only his secret you are holding, but also a part of your own. Over time, you may find that the knowledge you carry is shaping more than your perception of him. It changes how you see relationships, trust, and intimacy. It can make you more cautious, more guarded, or more aware of the fragility of what people present as truth. And once you live with that kind of awareness, you cannot return to the simplicity of believing that what you see is all there is. This is both the beauty and the cost of perception. You have the ability to see beyond the surface, but that ability requires you to manage the weight of what you discover. Not every truth needs to be spoken, and not every hidden thing is yours to reveal. Sometimes, the most powerful choice you can make is to see clearly and still decide to walk away from the burden. In the end, what you see in him is only a part of the story. The rest belongs to him and to the life he has chosen. Your responsibility is to yourself, to protect your peace, to keep your boundaries intact, and to remember that your gift of perception is not meant to imprison you in someone else's shadow. The danger was never in the secret itself. The real danger is in forgetting that you have the choice to put it down. And maybe that is the final truth you needed to see. Not what he hides, not what you uncover, but the reminder that you are not responsible for carrying the weight of someone else's world. You can see the cracks in his story without stepping inside them. You can understand his silence without becoming part of it. The power has never been in the secret itself. The power is in your ability to walk away still holding your sense of self intact. Because in the end, the most dangerous thing you can do is lose yourself in a truth that was never yours to keep. So keep your eyes open, but keep your heart your own, because the ability to see is a gift, but the choice of what to do with that vision, that is where your real freedom lives.